I don't even think twice about it. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. It's great. How often do you get to play a superhero? And it's just I love animation. I always have, and just to be part of something like that, work with friends.
It's funny because I was telling one of my friends, like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking." He's a big Pretty Little Liars fan. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm talking to Spencer's dad today." He's like, "He's in DC," and they're like, "Oh yeah." So they're making the connection.
There we go.
So Fernando, let me just ask, like, what was your initial thoughts reading the script for Crisis?
Oh well, anytime get to be part of something like this, I always jump at it. I was always a big Justice League fan growing up as a kid, watching Saturday morning cartoons, and I've had the privilege of playing Superman and Superboy and now Green Lantern. Now it's just these are not jobs you ever kind of. I don't even think twice about. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. It's great. How often do you get to play a superhero? And it's just I love animation. I always have, and just to be part of something like that, work with friends, and I've had a long partnership with. I've done a lot of work with DC and Warner Brothers and everything, so it's always a pleasure.
This time you get to play a very different role as well. I mean,
Mhm.
even though they keep just saying the homeless man, we all know it's obviously Constantine. How was it doing a British accent for a DC character?
Not too difficult. A lot of times I can slip into it. I grew up in New England, so um, it's actually funny that you mentioned that because I literally grew up. My dad was a self-described Anglophile. We watched BBC. I remember BBC was on like I think PBS ran Monty Python and Benny Hill and Faulty Towers and my father's a big fan of Alec Guinness and Richard Burton, and we just watched those movies. He just loved that, and I just developed an ear for different accents and things like that, and I was always able to do it. And then as I got older, and then I got into I started meeting people from different places and started doing the different regions in England. Down in Cornwall, it's a little bit different. They start saying their R's a little bit harder and up north it's like you go around the pub up north Manchester, that area, but down in England it's the pub. I've always loved hearing that, and I've been able to go over to the UK quite a bit. I go up to Scotland. I've done a lot of that different things, so accents have always been a lot of fun, and I am not shy about talking to my British friends, going, "Hey, does this sound all right?" And we'll start talking, and they'll be like, and every now and then they'll be like, "No, no, that word is different." Like so it's yeah, I get a lot of help with it if I need it, but it's yeah, it's a lot of fun. And hey, the Brits do the American accent all the time, so why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. I
Exactly.
even if we get we get a few. I mean, he kind of shows up here and there and so on. But how much more intense does he get in this storyline as we go forward in the other two sequels, without giving too much spoilers, of course?
I don't know what I can say or what I should say. I just know that the only funny thing I can tell you about is I was reading it and I kept going, God, is that Constantine? I know. And then at one point, finally, after a couple recordings, I finally said, "This is God." They're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Didn't somebody tell you that?" I was like, "Oh no, 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 no! Now I get it. Now I get it." And uh, so I was very happy that I started playing him, not knowing. So I was literally like the audience going, "Wait a minute, is that supposed to be?" You kind of realize who it is pretty
It
quickly.
it only says homeless man in the script the entire time. Oh wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But then they finally let me in on the secret, which was great. But yeah, and it's and there's another amazing character. I that's the one thing. Like going back to originally what you were saying, these are just it's so much fun to just fall into this world as an actor and do this. And one of my favorite parts about something like this in animation is that most people don't understand. I don't know what this looks like yet. I mean, well, I mean from the trailers I do now, but when we're recording and when we're doing that part, you record and then they animate to that. They animate to the audio that we've already recorded. So very often in animation, I don't get to see what it looks like until the rents of the fans do.
So, like
I
no
always, I mean,
storyboards or no concept art stuff like that.
no, I mean, well, they may give us some idea, but very limited, and it's not really necessary most of the time. But unlike the on-camera stuff that I'm doing, where they'll show dailies, we'll kind of see what it looks like. They'll run things by. I kind of know what it's going to look like. I know what I look like. But in animation, it's so much more exciting because I'm like, what is this character going to look like? How are they going to because I can give that performance, but it's these amazing animators we have who give it the feel, the expression, the depth has to come from that side. It's a real collaborative effort, and I think it's a great thing to be part of.
If I could trouble you, because you were mentioning Superboy at the beginning, I'm a huge Young Justice fan, and Superboy was always one of my favorite characters. So I just was just wondering if have you heard anything about a potential season 5? Or like, is that door kind of closed at this point?
We have Warner Brothers people on this Zoom right now, and I'm telling you guys, we can do this. We can make another season. I know. I don't know. I'm not privy to that. I know it's a hit. I know fans want it desperately. I'm I don't know. I wish I did. We were so fortunate to get the season 2 and then 3 and 4 and as you know, if you saw season 4, Superboy had a big storyline in that, and it was so much fun. I love Greg Weisman and Greg Vietti. I mean, we just have so much fun. They're so passionate about their stories. So fingers crossed, something gets done. Maybe in the future. I don't think there's plans right now, but we always say we're not canceled. We just haven't been picked up yet. That's how I always feel about this show. So nobody's ever definitively said there will no longer be any Young Justice. Now, if tomorrow there is, they put that article out there, it's our fault. You understand that, right? I mean, Andy, that would be you and I just.
Yeah, I figure I will just check in, because I know I've been following that show since basically I was 18. So I
love that show.
Yeah. Now, for my final question, because again, you've done so much with DC. Like, is there something? Because we know that James Gunn's DC universe is coming up. Is there something that you would want to play with that? Maybe whether it's live action or animation.
Yeah, well, I'm actually here in Atlanta where they're shooting that very soon, and I think isn't Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, he's Guy Gardner.
He's Guy Gardner. So yeah, because I was texting with him. We're supposed to try to get together, get some dinner or something. But yeah, I'm shooting a TV series down here now, and has nothing to do with James Gunn. But I'm here, so if he needs me, I don't care. I do anything. I just I don't have to be one of the I'm Green Lantern in this right now, and that's what I'm focused on. But in the future, my son just moved back from school. He played college football, and he's getting me back in shape. So I'm ready to go. I won't need too much padding. I mean, we're gonna get this old man back in shape to the point where I could take down some baddies.
I see. I don't see no old man here, so you're good. But Nolan, thank you so much for your time. Huge fan of your work, and I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to hear you. Again, like when I realized that that's Nolan. He's doing British. I'm not like now. I want to just see what else you're going to say in part 2 and 3. So
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it very, very much. I'm very proud to be part of this and to be here today talking to you. So. DVDs this Tuesday, right? Get out there, buy the DVD, download it, whatever you want. Just don't miss it.